Hey everybody, how are y'all doing? I'm doing a-okay. It's your girl Aisha, and I'm coming to you with this video. This is why I'm dressed like this, because I'm going to be talking about Florida. We recently just went down to Florida so we can bury my grandmother. She passed away on Christmas Eve of 2020, as you know, and we buried her on January 9th, which is my oldest child, my firstborn, his 8th birthday. So the trip down to Florida was crazy, especially with having 5 kids and a baby. And God, please bless my husband, because that 18-hour drive driving with them kids is crazy. I can't even tell you how many fights, how many nosebleeds that these kids were getting into while we were there. And all the, "Mommy, are we there yet? I'm hungry. Are we almost there yet, Mommy? I'm hungry. I'm hungry." It was crazy. We left for Florida around, I'm going to say 12 p.m. Thursday, around Thursday, and we got to Florida around 7:30 a.m. So me and my husband, we tried to get some sleep, but we couldn't. There were some last minute things that I needed to get for my grandmother's awake and her funeral, which I still wasn't able to get, but I was able to get my two older boys their haircuts. We met up with my brother. The kids, they ate breakfast at my brother's house, and then later on we met up with my dad. He didn't even know that the kids was coming. It was a surprise. All he knew it was just gonna be me, as I still have my 1 year old and my newborn that my dad had never met, as we've been living in Texas for the past 3 years. So it was very excited for him to to see all his grandbabies, and especially since the last time he seen the twins, they were one, they had just turned one when we moved. So even though it was a sad occasion while we was getting together, I hope that the kids brought him some type of joy or happiness with seeing them. So yeah, we went to my grandmother's awake. It was just us, me, my dad, my siblings, my dad's wife, and we were there for about a good 30 minutes. Then my dad, he couldn't handle it no more, so he ended up leaving. I ended up staying a little bit. My aunties, they came, my cousins. So I was so excited to see all my little cousins and my aunties, just to be there for them during this hard time. My siblings. Then it was crazy because, my auntie, she wanted me to go back to my grandmother's house to spend time with them. And then my dad wanted the kids, to go over to his house. And then I got my sister-in-law. She wants to see her nieces and nephews. So it was just crazy. So it was like we were going to my dad's house. We were going to my sister-in-law's house. It was crazy. It was tiresome, but it was crazy, and it was worth it. So, all the kids got to spend time, with some of their family members. I wish I would have had more time so I can visit all my other aunties and, all my other cousins that live in Orlando, Sebastian, what is it? Point St. Lucie. I wish I would have had time. But I have to say, going down to Florida, it really was emotional. My uncle, he, had an accident too. I believe it was 2 years ago, where I think he fell or something fell on his head. So therefore, he's not really able to function and talk. And then I have my cousin, one of my favorite cousins. Apparently, she's schizophrenia and she's nowhere to be found. And, I just lost my grandmother. And my dad and his siblings, they're not getting along at all. They're not getting along or talking at all. So it was very emotional, but I was still able to enjoy somewhat of the trip. My kids were excited to get to spend time with all, of their, me and my husband, our siblings, they got to spend time with them, you know. So yeah,